so-called mostly what we call as dark ages. Lot of fight, lot of wars everywhere, right? It's like post Mahabharata time. Maybe Mahabharata happened about I think 3000 BC, around 3000 BC I think. So maybe 5000 years have passed. So there was a medieval period where human beings became more like brutes, okay, beasts, so killing each other, violence and all these things propagated, right? A lot of things happened. The human values went down. Now, if you see the later part of 20th century, maybe a later part, there's more stress on the human values, more focus on gender equality, more focus on the environment balance. That means, as human being, as a race, also we are learning something. So at some point of time, there is so much of violence, so much of thuggery all around. Now also is there. For example, Middle East, there is so much of violence takes place. But as a human society, as such, we are able to handle and understand better thing. There's more focus on some values. There's more focus on environment protection. Even though we have killed and destroyed the environment, so there's some focus on the animal rights, which is not as much as required. So as a society, also there's some evolution which happens. Okay. So that's why that earlier days we classified the ages into human consciousness into 4 ages: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. Okay, so Satya Yuga is where that the mind is, the people are more calm, more happy, peaceful type. Then Satya Yuga too, it came to Treta Yuga. Treta Yuga means 3/4. So one quarter of the percentage of consciousness has come down overall. So there it is more of a fighting. Something started more of a violence. Dwapar means 50/50. 50% consciousness has come down. In Kali Yuga means all 100% darkness. So that's actually no, it's not gone. It's about no, it's not happening. You are coming out of that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's going.
Yeah. So let's say that was about 4,000 to 5,000 years of last few years, 5,000 years. So much of war, so much of consciousness degradation.
So is this cycle going to repeat, or will it be a different?
No, it'll repeat.
So we would have been in that all those yugas, and we are here as well.
So now what happens is, now from this again we are gradually shifting back, more awareness, more things will come into picture. Okay, so for example, we have attained certain degree of mastery of the environment in terms of nature, electricity, some understanding of human psychological disorders is there. Earlier days psychological disorders, you don't know that person is cruel. Okay, violence was there. Now we understand we can treat the people, and there's equality, gender equality. So many things have come into picture, which was not there probably about 50 or 100 years back. Right? So there is, as a society, as a race, human beings, we just definitely evolving. Okay? So that's where the shift happens. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. And from Kali Yuga, we don't go back to Satya Yuga, just jump like that. We go to Dwapar, Treta.
It's like go in the reverse.
It's swing. People think it will go in a circle. It doesn't go in a circle.
No, that's what
it
I
is
was
a swing.
asking.
Backwards. So suddenly it's like overnight something will shift and everything will become Satya Yuga. It won't happen like that. Nature is not like that.
So it's like a pendulum.
It's a pendulum. So now what happening? I feel that somewhere we are in the early stage of Dwapar Yuga, in that sense.
So then they say talk of golden age coming back. What exactly is that?
See, the golden age, that's what I was speaking of. The human consciousness is divided into 4 ages. It's not individual consciousness. Individually, anybody can be at any stage of evolution.
That's correct.
Okay. So, as a society, as a population, as a race, where are human beings? So that is divided into 4 stages of human evolution. So Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. Okay, Satya Yuga is called golden age. Treta is silver. Dwapar is called bronze. Okay. Kali Yuga is called iron age. Iron age. Okay. So these are the 4 ages: Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali Yuga. Satya Yuga means that is the age of truthfulness, where people are more harmonious, more peaceful, more loving, more compassionate. And that was age where 100% of the people was more of a evolved society. Right? So then came to Treta Yuga, means 3/4 of human consciousness was okay. One quarter came down. 1/4 of human consciousness came down. Came to Dwapar Yuga, actually Satya Yuga was golden age, Dwapar Yuga, then Treta Yuga, then it came to Dwapar Yuga. Dwapar, what do you call as Dwapar, means 50%. Okay, so human consciousness came down by 50%, and Kali Yuga is the period where human consciousness came down drastically. So Kali Yuga, where human beings are more entirely focused on the body consciousness. So earlier, Treta, Dwapara Yuga, human beings were much more than a body. Okay. If you see last 5,000 years, it's like maybe after 3000 BC, it is before 3000 BC years before Christ, to let's say to early part of the 19th century, there was less value for a human being as a more than a body. Slavery was there. Okay, human being is taken as many people have taken slaves, the violence, everything was there. So gradually in the early part of 20th century, there is a value for recognition of human being as more than a body, psychological counseling, understanding the psychological nature of human being is there. That means slightly more understanding of human being than just as a body. Right? There is a more focus on gender equality. Right? Earlier there is some part of the time women were just there for trafficking. Right? So that consciousness again, there is some more value to human being just than more than a body. There was a period of time when human beings were just considered as a body, that is called Kali Yuga. So I feel that period we are slightly crossing over. Okay, now human beings are treated slightly more than a body. Human being as a consciousness, or human being as a, at least not if not consciousness, more as a human being as a mind. So there's a psychological counseling centers. Okay, there are people, psychological disorder also is recognized as one of the this thing. Earlier human being is just a body to be used in a field and a slave.
That's right.
That period of crossed, and women were considered as inferior. So now women are considered as also human beings. They have also more emotions, and that gender equality is coming to picture. A part of the time we destroyed the nature like anything. Okay, now there's understanding that natural destruction also destroys us. Okay, so there's more understanding as a human race. So that means we are evolving from a dark ages to something else. Okay, we are just coming out of the dark ages of human society. So that is what you call Kali Yuga. From Kali Yuga we are moving out. Now are we moving into perfection? No, I don't think so. We are more probably moving into Dwapara Yuga type of scenario, where there is consciousness is better evolved compared to Kali Yuga, last 5,000 years. Okay, that doesn't apply to individuals. Individuals at any point of time, that we always say in a society that we have always some genius, somebody will rise brilliantly. But as a race, yes, we are evolving from Kali Yuga to Dwapara Yuga. So when you say Dwapara Yuga, that means there is a deeper understanding of human beings. Okay, just more than as a body.
That's true.
And also the scientific discoveries of last century have also given more insights into the nature of existence itself. With what is nature, what is atom, what is submolecule. So it means we have a deeper understanding as a nature, as a society, as a race. We have a deeper understanding as a human beings. That means we have evolved from what we call as dark ages.
But there will be still some people who are still in their own
There
Kali
will be,
Yuga,
there
in
will
their
be.
own Satyug, in their own Dwapara.
They will be always. See, it doesn't apply to individual. Now when we speak of yuga, you always speak of a collective consciousness. Right?
Majority.
In collective. So any class, no, you're in any class. A class of 100 students, there will be always one brilliant guy who cannot be matched. There will be always one guy who cannot be helped. Always will be there.
He'll still be A for B.
So there will be always a group of people in any age. Some ups and downs will be there. But as a whole, if you take average, as an average human race, we are evolving. If we don't destroy ourselves by that time.
In the last couple of years, I have personally noticed a major shift in consciousness.
Yeah,
At least people that I have come across, I have seen whether I teach music, so whether it's my students or whoever I meet, I've seen that there's so much shift. People's thinking is so much more pure than it was before, much more selfless and giving, like unity, that we all one family kind of thing. Slowly I'm seeing it's happening. So it's very heartening to see that.
It is the other way also.
That is also coming.
So what happens is that because you are evolving, you meet such people.
Oh.
There are people, there are regions of the earth. You can see the violence which is going on. There is collective violence also is there. So what happens is that it is like it's the vibrations of certain quality will take us to certain quality. So more people we meet like that.
Okay.
But then we cannot generalize our experience and say this is how the world is. right?
But it is changing, isn't it?
It is
By and
changing.
large.
That's what I'm saying. It is changing by basic sheer understanding of science and technology, which is giving more insights into the nature.
Yeah.
Sheer understanding of human nature. We have more understanding of human diseases, more understanding of body structure, more understanding of psychological nature of problems, more understanding of nervous system operations. So we are human being is not just a black box for us anymore.
No, yeah, that's right.
Right? There's some value system. Okay. Like that.
Venkat works in social, professor in lecturer, right?
Uh-huh.
Social work.
What subject?
Social work.
Social
Teaching
work. Okay. Which university?
Catholic University.
She's a social worker as well. She has also done her PhD, but not working.
I don't know. I've not been working for 21 years. I just teach music, classical music.
Good. What
She's
classic?
meditating.
Hindustani
Hindustani
classical.
Very good.
That gives me a lot of peace, and it's so close to my heart.
Both music and meditation are close.
Very good, yeah. It's very meditative. We didn't have the time to come, otherwise I would have loved to come yesterday. My son left today for UK. So
What is he doing?
he's working there, about 1 hour from London. He's a hardware engineer, electronic engineer.
I'm also electronic.
Oh,
I'm also working on hardware for 20 years.
20 years. Okay.
Have you changed?
Huh?
Have you changed? You're still doing the same, no?
I'm doing so many things. When after that I moved into the software, moved into multiple systems, now in business.
I've been telling my son to come to Brisbane. He's got a small girl, 6-year-old girl. Come back here. But it depends. He's working for a company which is here.
What's
in
the
Brisbane.
company?
Noja Power something.
Hmm?
It's a small
Noja
company.
Power.
Noja Power.
Noja Power.
No job.
It's a small company. So he's contracting.
They're looking at energy and
Energy.
electrical systems for the future.
Smart grids.
Just one observation. I have been trying to be on a spiritual path for many years now. I don't know what progress I have made. If at all I made progress.
Oh, same question, everybody.
But I know that this is my goal, and I'm not a very, I don't want to say unfriendly, but I'm not a very social person. Like there are parties, and I'm not into that. So I have withdrawn. I was never like that, but now I know that my interest doesn't lie in anything in the world, really. Nothing in the world attracts my attention or interest, really.
Right.
It's more, I would like to go inwards. I've been trying my best.
Mhm.
This is a very difficult journey. It's not easy. For you, it's very easy. But for us, it's very difficult. And there are a lot of hurdles that come in between. We make 2 steps ahead, 4 steps backwards. Again, 1 step ahead, 2 steps backwards. That's what is happening in my life for the last.
How do you measure the 2 steps in 1 step?
I feel that I'm not able to measure
And then
exactly.
how do you
but
say the 2 steps in 1 step?
I feel that maybe I'm because I self-evaluate and I analyze myself. I evaluate myself.
How fair is your evaluation?
It could be wrong. But every time when I sleep, I think, okay, I will not do this again. I will not react in a negative way. But then I have a stimulus coming my way, which impels me into a reaction which I have been in. And then I say, I know this world is Maya. I know it's all false. That's why I'm not so attracted to it. But there's something that is attachment, ego, that yes, somebody is telling me something bad or somebody is upsetting me. And then there's a reaction. So I feel personally being very honest to myself, because in this journey, I know one thing. If you're not sincere and honest to yourself, you're not doing anybody a favor, not yourself at all.
Yeah.
So I have to be very honest to myself. That is my honesty that makes me say that, yes, 1 step I have gone front, maybe 2 backwards. Yes, I have to admit there are some 4 steps forward and maybe 2 backwards. That also I know. But this cause and effect relationship, where I know I'm taking 1 forward, maybe 1 again backward, 5 forward, maybe 3 backward. I know. Through this, have I grown?
Obviously, you're grown. Because you're able to recognize the 1 step and 2 step backwards. There are people who can't even recognize that. Right? There are people actually. There are categories of people. Right? Some people don't know what is spirituality. Some people know about spirituality, but they don't bother about it. Some people know about spirituality and they make an attempt in that. Some people make an attempt and they understand they understand. So you're very, very, very well ahead in that game.
But I still look ahead, and the road is so long, and the journey is so
The
arduous.
road is the problem of road is itself is a maya. Actually, the concept of road itself is like a, when you say the difficulty or challenge of spirituality is that you don't know what is the ultimate destination. We have only concepts of that. Okay, right? See, for example, I don't know how it what it means to stand in top of Himalayas. I don't know, right? Only when I reach there, I know. Until that point, it's only notion, right? Every point, every peak, it seems to be a reaching point, and then okay, is there something more, right? Until you hit that last point, you don't know. And nobody is there to tell you this is the last point, because nobody is there just welcoming you with garland and agarbatti that okay, you're reached. It's only a question of your own inner clarity that yes, I've reached or I have not reached. Okay, so the problem in the challenge in the spiritual life is not the path, but the goal. What is that goal? It is every time it seems to be shifting. The way is long.
It's going far away.
Because you've not reached, so that's why you think.
No, it's not.
It's not that you're reached. What he's trying to say, if I am able to understand, is if the goal was at, say, position 10, hypothetically, you have reached 7, your expectation and your perseverance to go more, that goal has shifted from 10 to 12. So that's why she is talking of 1 step forward, 2 steps backward, because she's seeing it go away. Is that how I see it?
Basically, the reference for us is
changing. It's changing.
When we reach, then only we know.
When
we don't know where we are.
All that happens is, what happens is every time when I reach 2 steps forward, you understand I have gone somewhere, but this is not the final. That inner gap will be there. Okay, now what is the final? We don't have a clue.
We don't have a clue.
Okay, what is the final? We don't have a clue. And we have only glamour. You have seen some people, somebody, okay, looks very glamorous, okay, this person has reached, right? So we have some understanding from external side, but internally we don't have a reference of what is that final point is. The toughest part of spirituality is that reference point is already you are there. You are going circles around that point, searching for a way.
It's all there inside.
No, it's already there.
It's there.
There is actually the concept that there's some way, something to reach itself is a part of the Maya. Okay.
It's not a straight line.
No. Where you are is already, as a
there.
consciousness, already established in that state. But the mind creates the illusion that there's something gap. Somewhere I have to go. Somewhere I have to find. Right.
You're there, but just to open your eyes to see that.
So where you are is already. It is here already. At this point, it is already there. Okay. What happens is our mind creates the illusion that there is something to be achieved, something to be go. We are already accustomed to becoming something. Okay. All our life is journey to become something. You cannot become the self. You are already the self.
That is so true.
Perfect. Just a direct.
It's already there.
Right. But then mind is not silent.
Mind is
not silent.
Mind is a monkey.
Mind is searching for a way out. Okay, it says there is a path, there is some steps are there. It says so many things, right? That's the creation of the mind. Now, how do you get out of the situation? That get out of the situation is from a person who has realized. You should get a clear understanding. This is where you stand. This is what is realization. So that clarity has to dawn in the mind. That's what we call as Vedantic teaching or Jnana. That when a convincing way it happens, the mind becomes deeply silent. It doesn't seek for a way out. It says, this is my destination.
Yes, this is my destination. I think then it will be clear automatically. But sometimes there is I don't know if I should say desperation or should I say there's that eagerness, with a bit of anxiety that, okay, you want to reach that state of knowing, of living the truth, of experiencing the ultimate truth. And it's going further and
Not
further away,
happening.
and you want it so desperately that it causes a bit of depression.
No, I understand. The truth is never going further and further. Truth is always there, eternally
is
there,
there.
where it is.
Mhm.
The mind itself creates a shifting goal points.
So mind, how does one? It's just dhyana, isn't it?
Huh?
That's what I'm.
It should-
Meditation.
Dhyan, meditation. That
See,
comes.
the meditation, there is the meditation, dhyan and gyan. Dhyan and gyan are two wings of the bird.
Correct.
Gyan without dhyan or dhyan without gyan,
Yes.
both will not
Yeah.
fly.
Not
Okay? When gyan and dhyan go together, then it becomes vigyan.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's-
Vigyan means Vishishtadhan, experiential knowledge.
Yeah.
So what happens is that there is a Gyan is actually more of a contemplation on truths, understanding of the truths, told in a very clear way. So that is Gyan. Gyan is meditation. Okay. So Gyan and Dhyan has to go together to get Vigyan.
When I sit and do dhyan, I can feel sometimes sometimes very quickly I can feel the energy rising. Sometimes it takes much longer. But after a certain point, when I can feel the energy or some whatever, after that I feel this. I just come to like a roadblock where I feel now from here onwards, it's just there's something stopping. It's not going ahead. So that's frustrating.
Let me ask the question. I can feel means what you can feel.
I feel myself.
Myself means what?
The energy, the consciousness.
No, when you say myself means what?
Myself is my energy. I can feel some
Who is
energy. My is the Atma, myself. I am the soul. So the consciousness, I don't know which word to use.
Okay.
The consciousness, because I feel when I'm sitting, now I know, when we say I, we normally say, normally the thing is we feel mind body, but I know that much that I'm not the mind, I'm not the body. But there is that I, which I can experience, which the I makes itself clear to me when I'm when it's a good meditation, let me say, then I feel that there's an energy, I can feel that some energy moving upwards, and that's a very blissful, very nice feeling to begin with. I can feel some energy here, sometimes here. But then when I try to go ahead and experience the bliss for myself, there's a roadblock. There's a dead end.
I and experience. There are two things you are speaking of.
I and the experience.
There are two aspects you are speaking of. I and the experience.
I and the experience, yes.
Right?
Huh.
There are two things you are speaking of. So, who is seeking the bliss?
It could be the mind.
So that you are not speaking of I as Atma.
As Atma. It could be because that feeling that comes when the energy
So-
is rising is blissful.
So that's why I asked the question, who is that I you are speaking of? If you are speaking of
Perfect
really
question.
I, that I is not I is already in bliss. It doesn't matter for it. The energy or no energy doesn't make a difference. Atma is not bothered about energy.
Atma is energy, is it?
No, Atma is already
Conscious.
serene, silence, and consciousness. Everything.
Consciousness. It is.
The Atma, there is no concept of experience, and experience. That split is gone.
Yeah.
Right? That's called what you call triputi. Three-way split.
Three-way split.
Okay. Now, any experience
Yeah,
is three-way split.
Yes.
I am seeing,
Hmm.
you are seeing. That's a process of seeing.
Thing, yeah.
There is a three-way split is there. See, the Atma being all
Witness.
encompassing, so there is no concept of three-way split,
That's right.
isn't it? The
It's all-
Atma is experience itself,
Yeah.
experience itself, and the experience itself.
Yes.
Experience, experience, and
Experience.
experiencer.
Yeah.
All is Atma,
Yes.
right?
Mm.
So then there's no concept of saying that I experience bliss.
Then, okay, when I'm sitting and when I feel the energy rising and when, what is that in me that is
So-
experiencing that
So
bliss?
that in me,
Huh.
you have rightly said, in me, in Atma,
In Atma.
that mind.
The mind is experiencing. So which means that that is also Brahma,
That's the ego.
ego. So then how does one then, how do you know that you're progressing?
See, the progressing is there's no question of progress or regress in Atma. It's all eternally present, all encompassing. Progress or regress is possible only in the finite, not infinite. There's
Yes. So it's a matter of dropping A and dropping B in order to reach C, the consciousness. Chala kashtam.
So that means it's all or none. When you have that experience, or when you
already have experience of Atma. Atma is already eternally experienced. Atma experience is not something new.
It's just to recognize.
Or the mind is taking the portion of Atma and say, I want to experience, I am experiencing.
So now when you say that Atma is an experience, is experiencing, you are experiencing anyway. What are those experiences when it's the Atma that's manifesting?
Atma doesn't manifest because Atma is eternally present in everything, everywhere already. There is nothing called a different manifestation of that. The manifestation happens at the mind level, energy level.
At the mind level, energy level, right?
Right? Because they're finite.
Yeah.
Infinite cannot do anything. Infinite is already there. Like, for example, space. Where it will manifest? Already it's there everywhere.
Maybe I didn't put my question well. So what now? It's thought, word and deed that we go through as a routine. What is the thought or the word and the deed that shows that this is coming from the Atma or it's coming from the mind? Is it like when you're loving and unconditionally loving?
No. So, the Atma is eternally present and eternally energizing mind and body and intellect. So your question is, what is the difference between this ego speaking and Atma speaking?
Yes.
Right? The ego is always speaking of experience and experiencer and experienced. The split is already there. Atma is not bothered about ego, experience, experiencer and experienced. Okay? So Atma inspires a higher values and higher thought process.
That's what I was asking.
Okay?
So the inspiration is from the Atma.
Inspiration is from Atma. Atma doesn't speak, but Atma inspires.
Inspires.
Okay? So if you say that Atma is speaking to me, it doesn't speak like that. Whether Atma, the mind becomes more purified, mind gets tuned to Atma, then mind gets inspired by higher values.
You put it so beautifully.
Okay? Understand? This sun doesn't come and sing through a bird. Sun is there already.
Yes.
Okay? A bird sings. Bird cannot sing without the presence of sun. Sun is the energizing. So similarly, mind, as it becomes more purified and more evolved, mind gets tuned to Atma. The mind becomes inspired by higher values and speaks higher truths. Okay? So the stage will come when mind becomes no mind.
No mind. Amanasta.
Amanasta.
That is very
So
difficult.
then, difficult and all these things are creation of mind only.
Because sometimes the mind is racing. So quickly the thoughts are coming.
Mind becomes no mind. Then who speaks to the mind is Atma.
Okay. When mind is no mind, Atma is addressing the mind.
No. Atma is present.
Is present.
Mind becomes no mind. Doesn't mean that mind disappears. The essential nature of mind is ego. The root of mind is ego. The ego takes the shape of Atma. The ego merges with Atma.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Then what remains is that ego is there, still a shadow. Okay? It's like a burnt ego. Like when you burn, there's a rope. You burn the rope, there's the ash is there. It's as the rope. That means still a burnt ego is there. That burnt ego is reflecting Atma fully. Then whatever that ego speaks is Atma speaking. Otherwise, Atma doesn't speak. Atma has no business to speak also.
So is that when the enlightenment comes and then you recognize? Her question is the difference between that enlightenment and we're already on that. The mind is getting silent, more silent, more silent. No. When that enlightenment will come. So is there a gap? Is there a time?
There is no gap any point of time. The gap is gap was not there. Gap is not there. Gap will not be there.
But what we experience, because it is either you step out of the house or you are in the house. But how far are you from
You are-
inside the house to outside? We don't know.
The answer for that is you are never far off. You are always there. Now you say that I am far off. I don't have any way saying that how far off you are. It's all Maya. Somebody says somebody is in the darkness right in the room. Okay, I don't know where the door is. Okay, it's all darkness. Okay, door is here only, but I can't see it.
That's the thing. Who will open that door for us?
We have to do it. Like you have to do it. I have to do it. It'll come with dhyana. That's what they say. Big people say.
बंद.
No, बंद नहीं होता है. It will be
अच्छा, sir.
on.
But I just feel that for us who are trying to walk on the spiritual path, we all have a need. I have a need. I'm sure she has a need. All of us have a need.
भी
to
मत
know.
बोलना वो डंडा मारेंगे.
No. What I mean is, our minds have a need to know what more, how much more effort, how much, because we look at things temporarily,
See, the
spatially.
Atma, realization of Atma is not result of effort.
It is not. No effort,
It is not a result of effort. It's a result of effortlessness.
effortlessness.
That's
is
why
so beautiful.
that's why it's a surrender. Surrender means effortlessness. So mind distorts everything. So Atma means realize Atma is surrender. Means what? Effortlessness. Now the question is in your mind, ask. If effortless, how do I reach that? He'll ask. The mind knows only the effort.
Because it is an effort to pacify the mind, to quell the continuous chatter of the mind.
Right. So Atma is not a result of effort. Atma is a result of effortlessness.
Like somebody said, I know everything. Another enlightened person said, I know everything because I don't want to know anything. That's a very profound statement. Afterwards, when I was thinking, he doesn't want to know anything, but he knows everything. He has no need to know, but he knows it. We have need to know because the mind needs to know.
Because we don't know.
Because we don't know.
We.
I don't
See, this we is a confusion for me.
Danda.
In which we, who are you including your we? Are you including me?
No, not you. How can I
She?
include you? Maybe he is.
Are you still in that?
No.
No, she's not there as you.
She's got.
Your
she's
husband
got
is
a
there.
big
बहुत
goal
मार
yesterday.
पड़ी.
No.
इसको एक बोलने
See, the thing
दो.
is, I'll tell you why that we is confusion. Okay. The we is we are projecting multiplicity where there is unique I.
There's unique eye.
You all are
But
one.
all the eyes together is also one big eye.
That I is not multiplicity.
Yeah.
So remember that we is an illusion.
B is illusion, correct. It's just that we are so used to saying that we.
We are used to
Again,
saying.
it's not
I know, understand.
I'm used to.
No, I don't normally say we.
No.
I know there is I. So many eyes, they're all one.
There is
isn't
no
it?
so many eyes.
That's even more beautiful. What
There is
you're
no so
saying.
many eyes.
There is
No,
only one.
Danda. तो मेरे we क्यों
I
बोलती
had a
बार-बार?
guru in Darwin. He was a white man. He used to tell me, always used to tell me this. I'm going 23 years ago, 22 years ago. There is only one. There is only I. You are that I am that I. Everybody is that I. And
There is no multiplicity of eyes.
there's no multiplicity. It's unique, and there's only one.
Still,
It's like a whole ocean of which the drop, you take away the drop, it has the same quality as the ocean, isn't
So
it?
finally,
There's no drop.
We know.
There's
I
no
know.
drop.
that is why. But why is that one eye at different levels is going through different emotions and different minds and
So
different.
which are you talking about?
That now everybody's talking your language without learning.
We will all learn.
So you have, in a way, we three decided to.
We बोला
on
बहुत
these
बार
three-
बोली. अच्छा.
No, I'm
अच्छा.
in this context
Okay.
that we don't know, but we accept with that we don't know. They don't know. They don't accept that they don't.
How did
We don't know.
No, I'm just kidding.
So we have
So
to
there's
know.
no we, no I, no drop.
The eye has to
Nothing.
know that it is
Then
that is
what?
the eye. So that then the
I
drama
doesn't
goes.
have to know it's the I.
Which is there.
Already knows.
It's
What-
already
that is-
knows.
Only word game.
I know, but the mind, once the mind goes, it's like
See, there is a capital I and small I.
That is a beautiful.
Okay.
I've read that.
So
somewhere.
English
Capital
is
I.
a most beautiful language. It's the only language it has only capital I in this place. Small I doesn't work there.
Only in between a sentence.
In between sentence. The I is the only one I. The small I is a illusion. There's no I. But it's not that small I is there in her and her and her. No. That small I appears to be there in all of them because the small I is appeared in me.
That's correct.
My experience I'm extrapolating on them.
That is so true.
Okay.
Yes.
So first, when somebody asks a question to Buddha, what happened after you got enlightened? What is the first thing which you saw? Buddha said, the first thing which I saw after enlightenment is that the whole world is already awakened.
Because he's awakened.
If you are sleeping, the whole world appears to be sleeping. You say project that I on everybody and say that this is also has I.
Yes. They say mind sees mind, Atma sees Atma. Sometimes
So when
somebody
a
told
person
me.
who is realized, he sees only Atma in everybody. For him, there is no unrealized persons. Then people ask Buddha, then what are these people trying for enlightenment? He said, I don't know. I am awakened Buddha. They are sleeping Buddha. Maybe they will wake up.
We're all sleeping at the moment.
We, why are you
because we all are saying that.
But I can say one thing, that I want to awake. The sleeping has been very long.
There's no
I want to
I.
wake up.
Yeah.
Some words.
See, this is what you call illusion of I. Okay, illusion of ego, individual I is an illusion. It's not reality. So that illusion you have to wake up. It's not a reality. The small I.
It's not reality. Yes. But oftentimes it comes across as reality, which is so sad.
Sad about it. It's a part of game. Called life. Why you want to make it sad business?
Sometimes it's depressing.
Why?
When you are for a person who has practically cut off the world, the cut off. I have more or less cut off myself from the drama of much of the world. I'm always in my own home. I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything else. And then there is that need to know who I am. There's a need to experience the oneness with the universe, with God. And when that need is not fulfilled, then the mind takes you down.
Yeah.
Because if I was still in this society, then I would be laughing and joking and all that. So to that extent, you are not depressed. You feel okay. That's part of life. Then the mind is engaged in activities beyond the Atma. Then you feel okay. But because my mind is not engaged in those activities very much at all, actually very little, then I want to engage it. I can't be neither there nor here. There I'm not. I know I'm not there for many years now. So my need to be here is much more strong. And then when it's not coming, there's depression. That's what happens.
Your enlightenment will come faster than everybody
No,
else.
not faster. Maybe
It
it'll take
will.
more time because I'm getting down. Then you're not depressed because you're engaging in something which is keeping your
It's
consciousness.
like the student who is going and playing games before the exams and all, and he's managing to pass. The other student studies hard and he tops in the class, but he tops. So it's the same thing with you and with the other people. They're doing bit of this and bit of that and bit of this.
That's because you're
but they're
balancing
still,
it.
but we're still going slow.
I'm not. I've cut
rapid.
off that one. This
Open
one,
the
nothing
door.
is coming. So it's depressing. That वो छोड़ दिया
If it is
तुमने,
depressing,
इधर भी कुछ नहीं आ रहा.
नहीं अगर depressing है तो फिर वो उधर भी थोड़ा जाओ.
आप उसको किससे कंपेयर कर रहे हो कि डिप्रेसिंग नहीं है?
नहीं
हाँ.
किसी इंसान को नहीं कंपेयर कर रही
नहीं
हूँ.
किसी कोई रेफरेंस तो ले रहे हो
I'll tell you what. I'm comparing myself to myself.
yourself to yourself. So are you shifting the goalpost every time?
नहीं तो how do you know?
goalpost
नहीं, how do you
shifting.
know हम उधर भी जा रहे इधर भी जा रहे तो हम depressed नहीं है.
No, many get depressed. You're at least engaging the mind in something which the mind is.
You're also engaging.
My mind
You
is
may
only at
reach or
home.
not, but you're engaging.
What do I
Who
do?
is the guru?
Engage कर रहे हो ना अपने आप को
We'll ask.
meditation में.
Whatever time I get, I try to sit down, introspect, do that. Because I don't have an external, I don't do a job. And I've not been working for years.
Okay, let me understand this I. You are using too many I's. Which I's I want to understand?
This is my mind.
No. When you say I don't have a job.
I don't do a job. No.
Means I means what?
I is the mind, body, and the Atma, three-part being. I'm a three-part being. I have a mind, I have a body, and I am an Atma. Atma, which is embodied and which has a mind.
Atma is embodied, or Atma is everywhere and mind is there in the body. Mind and body is there in the Atma. It means Atma is a small piece sitting in somewhere in the mind and body.
Atma is there, and I don't know if I understand correct, but my Atma is embodied. But I am an Atma, but I have a mind and body.
Atma is infinite, eternal principle.
Infinite, correct.
So
Infinite,
how it gets embodied?
when I take birth, at birth the Atma is embodied, isn't it? No,
Who takes the birth?
the body. Atma comes into the world through the body.
Atma interacts.
No, you both have been talking to him. Let me
नहीं, वही
understand.
मैंने कहा मैं तो मार भी खाई इसलिए
Atma is infinite.
Infinite, yes.
Okay. So Atma interacts with the world through the body.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. The concept of embodiment is superimposed on Atma. Atma never gets embodied.
Yes. Okay.
Then what you saying is Atma has become a small piece which is sitting
Right.
somewhere in the body. No.
No.
Hmm.
But it is a vehicle. Atma is using the body as a vehicle, isn't it? Our body is a vehicle to express the inner being, to express the Atmic consciousness. That's what I meant.
Correct.
Is that
So,
correct?
but that Atma doesn't get embodied.
It's
Body,
not
mind, and
embodied.
intellect is in Atma.
Body, mind, and intellect.
Atma is
in
like space.
is like
Is he-
space, yes, because everywhere is divine manifestation. You in a tree, in a flower.
Alright. So if you have a concept that Atma is somewhere inside body, mind, intellect, which is embodied, no.
Atma is all pervading.
All pervading. Body, mind, intellect operate in Atma.
Body, mind,
Prabhuji,
operate.
हम ठीक है ना,
let's
हम-
not
हम
play
कहते
with
हैं आत्मा
words.
एक-
Let's have
सीधे
enlightenment.
आत्मा-
That would be the biggest gift.
If this is a vehicle,
Matrika Shakti. The words are the bondage. Shiva Sutra number 3.
That's what I'm saying. These are words.
No,
Leave
the words, unless you correct the words, the consciousness doesn't get corrected. Consciousness is reflects as words and word reflects as consciousness.
even thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
Words,
thoughts,
deeds,
deeds and
Yeah.
words are actually constraining your consciousness.
Yes.
So unless you correct your word and thought, the restriction on the consciousness doesn't disappear. You have to learn whenever you use the word, Atma is embodied, that itself is not a right statement.
Correct. Atma is using the body as a vehicle.
Basically. That is a correct statement. I
Yeah.
agree. Okay. Fine. So, Atma is like a space. It is using body, mind, and vehicle. Now, what happens is when you use the glass, okay, so you start reading something. Now, when I read something, okay, I forget that I'm wearing the glass. So when I forget that I'm wearing the glass, what happened to the glass?
It's still there.
Glass is there, but glass became a part of my eyes. Okay, understand?
Yeah.
But still, this glass is not my eyes. Glass is part of my eyes. My forgetfulness has made me glass as a part of my eyes. I have forgotten that glass is I'm wearing, but glass become my eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
Correct.
The same thing happens to Atma. When Atma uses the body and mind and sees the world, it forgets that I'm using the body and mind and forgets. That becomes a part of Atma, that is the issue.
Oh, you-
You understand? It's a forgetfulness. There's no embodiment.
It is not a part of it.
It's never been a part.
But mind, you said some time back, has to become one with the Atma,
Huh.
part of the Atma.
It is a part of the Atma.
Mind
But
is
what happens is that our problem is we have become body, mind, and intellect because we forget that I'm using body, mind, and intellect. In the process of interacting, that body, mind, and intellect has become me,
yes.
which is not true. Okay. So let us take the analogy of the glass itself. I am reading. I've forgotten that I am wearing glass. Okay. I'm searching for my glass. Okay. I forgot I'm wearing it. Then I have to recognize that I'm wearing glass. Glass is not my eyes. Glass is separate from me. What do? Take out the glass and see. Oh, this is my eyes. This is my glass. Separate. Right? Isn't it? So Atma is wearing body, mind, and intellect. And it has forgotten that I am wearing body, mind, and intellect, but I have become body, mind, and intellect.
Yeah.
So then what do you do?
Detach.
So
Separate
detach and
yourself.
observe the body, mind, and intellect. The body, mind, and intellect is this. I am Atma. Observe it. That's the process of meditation.
Yeah.
Meditation is not getting experience.
It's
Meditation is the process of observing the experiencer. Mind is
Observing
craving
the-
for experience.
And to dissociate with it.
When you observe, then you understand. Oh, this fellow is doing something. I am observer. I am witness. What is happening? What's happening is you get associated with the experiencer and say, I want more experience. Your purpose in the meditation is to watch. Oh, this fellow mind is asking for experience. Watch the mind. Don't get involved in the mind. That's meditation. The mind is the one which becomes experiencer and experienced. So mind is seeking more and more experience. Okay. So Atma is already Atma. When you forget Atma wears the body and mind and becomes the body, mind, and intellect. Now you are saying, okay, no, I want to free from this and starts watching the mind. So in the process of mind, when you close your eyes, what happens? World disappears, right? So then the mental world opens up. Thoughts, images, everything opens up.
Yeah.
Then the mind says, okay, I want more bliss. Something like you say. So now you think that Atma is saying that. Atma is not saying that. Atma is just watching that. But when you Atma associate with that, Atma says, oh no, I want more bliss. Some block is coming, it will say. Atma should understand that this is the mind which is asking for experience. Just watch it. So then the one who sees it is the Atma. Not one is seeking is the Atma.
Yeah, obviously. It's
But
the mind that's saying that you're not progressing.
Huh.
There's a roadblock. It's
So-
obviously my mind that's saying that.
So watch the mind. The moment you watch glasses, you know that my eyes are here, glass is here.
Separate.
Right.
But what happens is it's like I personally feel over the years it's like when we see a movie in a theater, there's a white screen. On that the movie is projected. We get so involved with the movie that we have forgotten that it's projected, but the main thing is the screen. The screen is not visible, so we don't even know that it exists. Many people don't even know it exists.
Correct. That's why you're meditating. You close the world off, shut off the world. Then you close your eyes. Then mental world opens up. Memories, thoughts, images will open up. Okay. Then you try to get involved in the mental world.
Yeah.
Right? Why do you want to get involved in the mental world? You watch the mental world. The one who is watching it, seer, is already in bliss. That's why he's seeing.
Yes.
But then he forgets that and he gets associated with the seeker, which is the mind.
Which is the mind. Correct.
And says, I want more bliss, some energy is blocking. Arey Baba, it doesn't make a difference.
So does this when a person gets enlightenment, we don't know when we are going to get or whether we are going to get also. I don't know whether when I'm going to get or when it will happen, I don't know. But now suppose I'm sitting and I want to know the experience of oneness with God, with the Creator.
She means that enlightenment.
Enlightenment. Now, I want to get enlightened, but how much more time? How much-
Everybody has the same question.
And because this world doesn't excite me anymore at all. It doesn't make me. I don't feel interested in the world, and so I feel.
After the enlightenment, world becomes all the more interesting, actually.
I know. I understand that.
You're
Then
actually
we
seeing
become-
the drama, real life
But
drama.
that's a real thing, and I think that is blissful
Say,
when you have different way of looking at the world.
You have to understand the stages of consciousness. Okay. So there is a oneness and there is beyond oneness. Enlightenment is called beyond oneness.
You might know.
Okay. So I'll just tell you the stages of human life, right? We have 3 stages of consciousness: waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. So first stage of mind, waking, dreaming, deep sleep. Now in all these stages, there is a identification with the body-mind complex. In waking state, there is identification with body-mind complex. I am the body-mind and complex. In dreaming state, identification with body-mind complexes, but different body-mind complex. Some other body you take, you become a child or whatever is there. In deep sleep, the body-mind complex is dropped. Okay, there's no more body-mind complex in the deep sleep.
Consciousness is there in all the 3
Consciousness
stages.
is all the
All
3
three
states.
stages.
Okay, but what happens is the ignorance which you had in the waking state is still there, propagating. It's not gone.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The correction has to happen in the waking state
Yes.
because that is the cause, root cause.
Okay.
I think your husband is getting
No.
restless.
I worked.
He was
about
working till
3:30
3
Yeah,
o'clock.
that's what
Okay.
I was just about.
Yeah, you can rest.
Yes.
Yeah, but no.
Listening.
Okay.
Lie down. No? Okay. So, consciousness there are all the three states, but the sense of ego, I,
Yeah.
in waking state becomes body, mind, and intellect.
Correct.
Body, mind, and intellect. In the dream state, some other body, mind, intellect. In deep sleep, it goes to a dormant state.
Mm.
No identification, but ignorance is still there. I am body and mind. So this ignorance has to go. Okay, that is the problem. The mind itself means ignorance has to go, drop.
Mm.
Ignorance of identification with body mind complex has to drop. That is the enlightenment.
Mm.
So now what happens is that normal state of consciousness, the mind is full of thoughts.
Yes.
So something like 60,000 thoughts. Okay. These thoughts, what you call as a multiplicity of thoughts, is what is called samsara, not the physical world.
Mm.
The physical world has nothing to do with samsara.
Own
So when you
samsara.
say the world, actually when you say spirituality, world has to be dropped. It's not the physical world. It's the impression of the physical world has to be dropped, not the world itself.
Yeah, yeah.
The world is beautiful actually. That world leaves the impression and that is in the form of thoughts. That has to be dropped, not the world itself. Okay. So now this is actually what we call as a mind which is in illusion, which keeps on creating thoughts. From that state, you go into
Shushupti.
Sushupti is deep sleep, waking, dreaming, deep sleep, right?
And
Sushupti.
Turyavastha.
Turyavastha is a meditation state, witnessing state,
Is that the Turyavastha is like when you say that you're
witness.
witness? Huh? That's
Yes.
correct.
Right? It's beyond waking, dreaming, deep sleep. So the idle mind is a devil's workshop, they say.
Mm.
Continuously it gives thoughts. Okay. Then you reach a state of no thought state. Right? Thoughtless state. It's called God's workshop. The mind becomes free from thoughts. It will start getting inspiring thoughts. Okay. Thoughts become very inspiring because it's freed from the thoughts of impressions of the world.
Mm.
Right? So that's actually God. That's God's thoughts. So we go through different stages of consciousness: waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and then turiya, which is witnessing.
Is that the Turyavastha? Is that the realization state?
Mhm.
Then
Turiya avastha is also avastha state.
it's also state.
Okay. Turiya theta is the relation state.
Turyatita.
So what happens is Turiya is called samadhi. You start meditating. Okay. What happens in meditation is external world is stopped, but internal world opens up. Internal world of thoughts, memories, and images. Right? Is there a thought internal world like that? It's our thought and images, all extra reflection of the external world printed. Yeah. In spirituality, when you say world has to be dropped, it's nothing to do with the external world, only internal world. Nothing to world, nothing to be dropped.
Which is an impression of what the external world.
That has to be dropped. Now, how do you drop that? By watching it, witnessing it, by not getting involved in that. You said, I don't get involved in the external world. That has to go to the internal world.
That's correct.
Don't have to get involved with the internal world.
But I've noticed one thing. If I get over involved with that and that and that, then its hold on my mind,
More
internal world
impressions.
is much more than if I have dissociated like I have. more or
Correct.
less.
That's what I'm saying. There's a first is physical isolation, second is internal isolation.
That's exactly right.
So really what you have to achieve is the internal isolation, not physical isolation secondary.
Yeah.
Right? So once you become witness of that, that's called turiya. Now what happens here is that there are two consciousness happens. One is called oneness consciousness. The ego has not disappeared, but ego associates with all that is there in the universe. Okay. Now ego takes a larger shape and calls everything as oneness. That's called God consciousness. Okay, means all that is there is the self, that concept evolves, comes into picture. It's called God consciousness. This typically it's called Savikalpa Samadhi. The Savikalpa means the Kalpana is there, but not final realization, intermediate realization. So that's called what we call typically called God consciousness, oneness. So beyond that oneness, even that oneness is realized as illusionary. Oneness also gets dropped.
Is that then Nirvikalpa Samadhi?
That is called Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And whenever we speak of Samadhi, it is actually a temporary state. Samadhi is a temporary state. It's like waking, dreaming, deep sleep, but it's one more temporary state. Okay, Nirvikalpa Samadhi is momentarily there a thoughtless state.
That's
Okay, but Savikalpa Samadhi is a thoughtful state.
thoughtful state.
One thought is that all that is God.
Okay.
Okay, Nirvikalpa Samadhi is there's no concept of God or no God. Thoughtless. Right? Beyond that, it comes to Sahaja Samadhi. In Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the ego, in Savikalpa Samadhi, ego becomes larger ego. Ego becomes everything. The plant, tree, animals, sky, a bird, everything is God. That's called Savikalpa Samadhi. That's oneness we are speaking of. Beyond that, Nirvikalpa Samadhi is there. Everything is empty, disappears.
No.
Beyond that, everything appears.
What is that called again?
Nirvikalpa Samadhi.
No, Nirvikalpa is where there's a thoughtless state.
Thoughtless statement. There's no concept of God, no God, oneness,
nothing.
two-ness, nothing is there.
Then beyond that,
Beyond that, everything appears actually, but nothing is real. That's called Sahaja Samadhi.
Sahaja Samadhi.
Okay, in Sahaja Samadhi, what happens? Your eyes are open, your thoughts are, your mind is open, everything is here. But everything you know as a projection in consciousness. It's called everything is Maya. You are experiencing the world as Maya. It is there, but it is a projection. That clarity is there while talking, walking, sleeping. That is called the final liberated state.
So that is the realization.
That's the liberated state. Intermediate. These are intermediate states. Oneness. Okay, that's why it's called Advaita.
Advaita.
Advaita is a negative statement.
Yeah, it's negatively you're saying there is only one.
No, you can't even say, no, you're not saying one. There's no two.
There's no two. That's what you're saying it negatively.
But you can't say one
Advaita.
because the one is also appearance.
Then when you say monotheism,
No, these are all theism and all is a the textbook.
Yeah.
The people write textbooks.
that's correct.
I'm speaking of inner experiences.
Yeah, but that says only one.
Yeah, but then all those things are theism is for people who are.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah,
I'm studying something. I need a theory.
theory, yeah.
I'm not taking theory. I'm taking realization. What is realization?
So there is no other word Advaita.
Advaita. There's no positive way of experiencing explaining a final experience. There's no duality.
No duality.
I cannot say there's oneness.
Mm.
That oneness stage is already crossed.
You have experienced all these stages. You had to go through all these stages.
Not everybody did not go through all these stages. I understand because I've gone through all these stages. I explain.
Does somebody suddenly come to this Sahaja?
People may come. I don't know. For me, I had gone through all these stages.
After he got the Nirvana,
He said, that's what I understand. There is nothing. He just said nothing. What did you experience? Some people might say, I don't know what Hinduism says, but
Shunyata.
Shunyata.
Tata, Shunyata. Anatta. He says Anatta.
Nothing.
Anatta. Atma. See, what is
Isn't
meant
that
in
consciousness, what he says?
No. What he speaks of Anatta, nothing. Let us make the word nothing.
Yeah.
No thing.
Nothing. Correct.
Okay?
Hmm.
A thing is an object.
Ah.
No thing is
Yeah.
no object.
That's correct.
The subject alone.
So what did he mean when he said
See,
anatta?
no, he speaks of anatta means non-self. Non-self, okay?
Huh.
He says no self.